Very good, thank you. This will bring us to Council Roundtable. I will start down here at my far right with Councilmember Cram.
I want to thank Chief Pice and his staff for attending the East Dublin Civic Association meeting on the 21st, and for the tournament for hosting us for the 4-miler. It ended up being a fairly decent evening, despite being a little on the chilly side. And the other thing, just in general, the tournament was great. It was a great leadership breakfast conversation on Friday as well. Thanks.
Megan kind of stole my thunder, but we had the community survey at the last meeting, and we had so much work to do that evening that I don't know that we had the opportunity to thank you the way you deserve to be thanked for all the hard work that you've done. To be, once again, considered a 99% to be the greatest city to live in says so much. And in every area, I mean, from safety to communications to quality of life to service by city employees to economic health to parks and recreation to Dublin as a place to work to a sense of community, opportunities to attend events, opportunities to volunteer, places to raise your children, neighborhood as a place to live, overall image. I mean, you're knocking it out of the ballpark. So at least from my position, and I'm sure everybody else feels this way too, I don't think that we could have a better staff. I don't think that we could have a better team. When we say that we are striving for excellence, we don't mess around. So we do it just exactly the way it should be done. But most importantly, I think it's a opportunity for other cities to see that it's possible, that cities can be engaged, they can be a team, they can work together, they can create a community that is an ideal to be modeled after. So thank you for your work and all the time that you give to it. And from a resident and a council member, I have great appreciation. So thank you.
Ditto on the memorial tournament and all the hard work everybody put in. It was an amazing effort. And thank God the sun came out the last 2 days. That really sort of changed the whole tenor of the thing. Friday was brutal, but they played right through the rain. It was amazing. I want to thank the Veterans Committee. I want to thank all of you for showing up for Memorial Day. Very moving speech by Mrs. Davis, who, I don't know if many of you remember this, but after her son was killed a number of years ago, she was our guest speaker, and she came back. And the Veterans Post is named after her son. And a sidebar story that was told to me after this that was very, very interesting that only maybe a handful of people might know is that Jan Rosansky's kid was in that vehicle, and the officer said, "Hey, get off of this and get in this one." And a few minutes later, that vehicle was blown up, as you know, and all 6 soldiers were killed. And it was 2 Dublin guys that were there. Jan pulled out young Wesley, and so there was 2 of her people there at that untimely moment, 2 Dublin kids. So really an amazing story. Bobby Clark used to say, we're building the Emerald City, and it has a moat around it, and the moat is watered by the blood of our heroes. Thank you.
That's a tough one to follow, John. So I guess to echo the 99%, that's why people call Dublin Disneyland, right? I guess maybe sick is the new term. So congratulations to Scotty Scheffler for his 2nd win in a row. I guess that he justified that larger-than-life wall hanging on the side of the AC Hotel. Maybe that gave him good luck. The city manager mentioned the Summer Fun Series, and I think it's great to see that we are engaging corporate sponsors to help. The events team does a lot, and it's important to leverage those corporate partners in our community that have said, we want to be part of the community, we want to help. So it's nice to see that we're taking a step in the right direction. But I think Crawford Hoying set a great example with Forfest over the weekend. I'm not much for crowds, but I did go out to see the drone show, and the city's alive. I mean, that area was just booming with activity. There were folks that had reservations at white tablecloth restaurants that were able to sit in their seats with a glass of wine and watch that drone show go on. So I think Crawford Hoying has set a standard for us as we look at Metro Center. It's not just about the developer and the development, it's about activating the space. And so I think we need to be mindful as we are looking down the road at who that partner is, that they can bring more to the table. And it may be a developer and then an operator, but it's important for us to keep that in mind because the events folks can't do it all. We would more or less be adding yet one more venue for them to activate. And Crawford Hoying has demonstrated that they can do it themselves. And it's in the developers or operators' best interest to activate their own space. So anyway, thanks.
Thank you. Please allow me to add my thanks to all of my colleagues here for a tremendous tournament. I will tell you the thing that always makes me feel so great and so proud and thankful is everybody I talked to that participated was there, touching anything that the city did. They just are just effusive with their praise and thanks, and they're so impressed. And so not just from us, but from all the residents, thank you very much for a great tournament. I know you're tired today, so thank you also for being here tonight. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank all the board and commission, those that were outgoing, the new folks, their families that came tonight. It was bumping out there in the hallways again this morning with pride and excitement and energy to serve this community, and it made me feel good, and I know it made my colleagues feel good. So thanks to them, wish them all the best, and thank you again for those that are leaving us tonight. So thanks.
Thanks. At the risk of repeating myself, thank you to all of our staff for an incredible memorial tournament. It really is a pretty impressive feat that we pulled off. And I want to do a special call out to Chief and his team. I got to see your officers interact with several folks who perhaps were not 100% sober, and they were very professional and kind. And it was the way that community policing should be. So thank you for that. Just a quick reminder, Hilliard City Schools ended last week, so all of our friends in Ballantrae, you're gonna have more kiddos running around, so be careful, drive slowly as you're doing that. A thank you to all of our outgoing board members and commission members, as well as our incoming ones. It's a real treat to be able to see everybody together. Thanks, Kathy, for helping to organize that. That's all I have. Thanks.
Great, thank you. I want to take a moment and thank the Dublin Chamber for the Business Impact Breakfast that they hosted on the 20th. It was well attended, and I think the city was represented well there. That afternoon, I had the opportunity to attend the CAMA meeting that was a joint meeting with the Northeast Ohio equivalent of the Central Ohio Mayors and Managers Association meeting, and it was very good to listen to their conversation and hear the issues that they are experiencing. Because truthfully, they're very different than ours. Their story is trending in a different direction than ours, and trying to attract and have development and attract investment into their communities. And I would much rather handle the problem that we are trying to do is managing the demand for growth in our community. So that was a valuable time of lessons learned. Would like to thank the schools for inviting us to the groundbreaking of the addition onto Scioto High School on the 22nd. It was a really great ceremony to see the excitement of the school staff and all of the students that were there for the addition onto that facility. It was also very timely as the Memorial Tournament was approaching. I had a number of people again, inquire as to what the school's plan was going to be aside from purchasing an existing office building. And so to be able to use that as an example to help tell their story is beneficial. Also, thank you, Amy, Kathy, and John for joining me in the 4-miler that evening. It felt like a long 4 miles, but we did it. So, and we did it, yes. We lived to tell. Want to thank the Wesley G. Davis post for the Memorial Day ceremony. It was very lovely. It's always a great day to be together as a community and to hear the things that we truly have to celebrate, and that's our freedoms because of the folks that we remember on that day. On the 28th, many of you joined on the honoree ceremony for the opening of the memorial tournament, and just want to thank the Nicholases for the impact that they've had not only on Dublin but on our region as well, and the $35 million that is invested in this community as a result of that tournament each and every year. And Barbara Nicholas was a very gracious and humble recipient of that honor, and it was touching to see. On the 29th, I had the opportunity to present before the Senate Finance Committee on passenger rail. I would say if there's anyone out there listening to this and they know anyone in the Ohio Senate, and if you believe that passenger rail is a good thing for the state of Ohio, I would encourage you to reach out and make those ideas known. We will see. We will likely know here in the next week or 10 days whether or not they fund the $750,000 request in the biennium budget or $375,000 per year is awarded into that budget. So we will remain hopeful, and we will continue to work any angles that we possibly can to ensure that that might come to fruition. I did have the opportunity on the 30th, the Memorial Tournament they're doing interviews for the 50th anniversary of the Memorial Tournament. Lindsay met me in the media center there, and we did a very brief interview on Dublin's perspective of the 50-year partnership with the Memorial Tournament. And I will say that Dan Sullivan had said that he felt that the best partnership in golf was the Memorial Tournament in the city of Dublin. So very thankful for that partnership and all the things that all staff do to continue to make that relationship such a good one over the years. I want to congratulate all of our boards and commission and advisory committees for getting sworn in tonight, and thank them in advance for the service they're going to do, and also thank those that were outgoing for the service that they have done to this community. Again, it was a great tournament. We have a great champion. The city looked phenomenal. So if you are any part of how this city looks, thank you, because we really had an opportunity to shine. Someone was asking me at the tournament at the Villa one day of, what does it mean for Dublin to be able to host a tournament like that? And I said, you know what, I've never met a mayor, or I've never met a city council person, or I've never met a city manager that said, oh, my city just isn't that great. We all love the communities that we have the privilege of serving, but very few communities get to show it off like we do. And to be able to put our best foot forward and have literally the entire world looking is a great gift. And everyone in the organization rises to the level of that challenge and puts our best foot forward. And it is palatable to everyone that comes here to visit. That's displayed in the video of celebrities, but it's also apparent to everyone else who comes from any other corner of the world. They see it too. And though they may not make a video reel, it's very real to them as well. So I want to thank all of the staff for the role that you all play in that, and particularly the folks that were working in the villa over the 4 days that we hosted our guests, or 5 days that we hosted our guests, because they felt welcome. I received dozens of texts after that saying, thank you for having us. It was so wonderful. It was a seamless process, and we appreciate it. So for everyone that gave of their time to be in the villa, thank you for that as well. And if there is nothing further for the good of the order, we will stand adjourned.